Let's see if the offense can get off to a good start. As always, for Radford's Mike Jones, it's inside out. You know the offense is working well when they get a lot of post touches. And this quarterfinal matchup from the Dedman Center is underway here tonight on this Monday, first day of March. Your Sunbelt starting lineups look like this. Sunbelt Rentals. For Hampton, you're going to see Marquise Godwin, Russell Dean, Davion Warren, Dajor Dickens, Chris Shelton. First shot off the mark for Hampton. And for Radford University, Famir Ali, Xavier Lipscomb, Drayvon Mangum, Kyrie Walker, and Lewis Jonkum. First possession for Radford from right to left. Of course, Hampton ended Radford's season last year in the semifinals after they lost 2 games to the Highlanders in the regular season, trying to repeat that here at the Dedman Center this year. 2 to shoot. Walker with 1 lofts it up, and he'll roll it in as the shot clock was about to expire, so Radford used up every second but got the bucket, and it's 2-0.
And it looked like Radford was a little out of rhythm on that possession there, Rick. Xavier Lipscomb, though, able to find Walker late in the shot clock. I think they're lucky to get a basket there. You mentioned juice. That's something that's going to help Radford in all areas. If they can bring energy, they'll have a good shot tonight, but that has been missing the last couple games.
Here's Davion Warren, conference's leading scorer, 22 points per game. They only have 3 to shoot, and there's a turnover. So Radford's defense forcing some pressure on the outside. So a missed shot and a turnover the first 2 possessions for Hampton. Radford, the number 2 seed for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, 7th time overall. They're 11-4 as the number 2 seed with a couple championships as the number 2. So history on their side, 98 and 2018 the latest. Radford 30-31 all time in the Big South Conference, trying to go to the semis for the 5th consecutive season under head coach Mike Jones, who is 8-8 in tournament play. Ali to Jonkum, and he'll lift it up and in over Dajor Dickens, and he gets the foul and a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
And that's just an amazing play there by Jonkum. You know, I don't think he was expecting to get that ball, much less get that off. He's able to keep his balance and make an athletic play at the rim. That's a huge play there by Jonkum, somebody Radford's going to want to establish inside early.
Hampton, 4-2 all-time in the conference after their first-round win over Presbyterian 67-65. We're going to show you Raymond Bethea Jr.'s three-pointer that sent them to the quarterfinals over PC. Hampton, by the way, looking to become the first number 7 seed to reach the semis since 2017 as Jonkum makes the free throw and Radford's off to a 5-0 start.
So far, Hampton been unable to get anything in the paint. Let's see if they try to attack the rim a little bit here.
A whistle as Russell Dean goes up and he gets bumped. I believe it was before the shot. First foul against Radford. Dean, honorable member, all conference. As you look at Edward Joyner Jr., he's done a terrific job at the helm in his 12th season, 197 wins, 500 in the Big South. Terrific gentleman as well. Here's Warren missing a 3 from the corner. Famir Ali, member of the All-Freshman Club, picking it up for Radford. Ali went in on Dickens, the shot conference, or the conference leader in shot blocks, and he's going to get that every time, the big man down low. And on the offensive end, he gets it and missed it. I think he was in between a layup or a dunk. Rebound by Radford.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough position to be in. I think he thought he could dunk it, and the last second realized he couldn't get there, so tried to switch to a layup and unable to finish.
Here's Jonkum, 3-point play already. Kyrie Walker left wide open, so he's going to shoot the jumper, and he'll miss it. And Dickens with the rebound. 6'10", 215-pounder, an Old Dominion transfer. Here's Russell Dean. Oh, and a late whistle and an offensive foul as Mangum will draw the charge on the perimeter. And, boy, I tell you what, Coach Joyner not happy at all. And Dean states his case to Bill Covington Jr., but to no avail.
And I tell you what, if you're a Radford fan, you have to be pleased with the way this Highlander team has come out to defend. You know, the last 4-5 games, they've really struggled on the defensive end. They just seem to be a lot more engaged right here. That's something they're going to have to keep up with the Hampton team that can put up a lot of points at any given moment.
Pass too low. Jonkum fumbles it. It's picked up by Godwin. Hampton still has not dotted the scoreboard. Dean tries to change that with a little 17-foot jumper, and he does, and it's 5-2.
think that's a shot you live with if you're Radford. The deep two, you know, percentage-wise, it's one of the lowest shots in basketball. If you're Russell Dean, you kind of want to take one step back and make that a three-pointer.
Ali behind the head pass to Kyrie Walker, missed the three. Jonkum, however, ended up with the rebound and lays it in. He's got 5 points early, and it's 7-2.
And you've seen on every possession what Radford's formula is. They want to get points in the paint, you know, and that comes first. Then if you draw extra defenders in, you kick it out. But
Warren short on a three, and Dickens battling Xavier Lipscomb for the basketball. It will go to Radford when we come back to the Dedman Center for this quarterfinal game in the 2021 Hercules Tires Big South Conference Championships. 7-2, Highlanders on top here on ESPN3.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
I'm crying 'cause I love you.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touche.
What? Bring down.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Big South Conference Tournament quarterfinals. Well, here's Raymond Bethea Jr. against Presbyterian on Saturday with a long three. And then a half-court shot at the buzzer, well short. And Radford found out that Hampton would advance once again to the Dedman Center, 67-65. The final score in that one, and Radford off to a 7-2 lead. Want to remind you that Hercules Tires is the official tire of the Big South Conference, and for over 65 years, they've been providing tires with unbeatable quality at an unmatched value. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, Hercules Tires wants you to ride on their strength. For a retailer near you, visit HerculesTires.com. Cole Wilder, your thoughts the first 4 minutes?
I mean, so far we've seen, you know, that lose or go home defensive mentality out of the Highlanders, and on offense a willingness to get the ball in the paint. If you're Hampton, you're going to have to find some way to attack the rim and get something going on offense, because so far the Pirates just haven't been able to get the shots they want. They're kind of settling. And, you know, I think it starts with Davion Warren. You got to get some type of action for him, maybe get him at the top of the key with the ball screen, something to get him going.
Radford 3 of 5 early on from the field, and conversely, Hampton just 1 of 5. Radford also out-rebounding them 5-1, as after the timeout, Josiah Jeffers, the junior, in for Mike Jones, along with Shaq Jules, his first year, transfer from USC Aiken. Highlanders with a 5-point lead and the basketball.
They're going to try to get Shaq Jules the ball here.
Mangum goes up, and there you go. On cue, Jules gets it, missed the layup, but he'll tap it up and in. A natural score, just get me to the rim, he says, and it's a 9-2 lead for Radford. They have exploded out of the gate here in this quarterfinal.
And you said it, natural-born scorer. He's not a guy that really blows you away with his post moves. He just, whatever the angle is, he finds a way to get the ball in the goal.
That'll be an offensive foul. Nicely done that time. It was, I believe, Shaq Jules on the other end. He and Mangum both taking the charge. Radford's taking 2 of those so far, and they create the turnover as we see it once again. It's going to be Shaq Jules. Nice positioning as we see it. Once again, Warren right over top of him.
How about him checking into the game? First possession on offense, he gets a bucket. Next possession on defense, he gets a charge. That's a pretty good start there for Shaq Jules.
Bethea Jr., the hero from Saturday, into the game for Coach Joyner.
They looked at the lob there for Jules.
Nine to 2, Radford. Lipscomb along the baseline. Throws it out to Famir Ali. 8 on the shot clock. All freshman conference selection spins in on Warren and misses, but Jules with the follow. And Radford leads 11 to 2.
That's a play where that's going to go down for as a missed bucket for Famir Ali, but he's able to draw the help. Free and check Jules up for the dunk.
Ed Joyner going to call a 30-second timeout. As you see the Highlanders very excited about their start, and rightfully so, trying to put the bad memories of those last 4 conference games behind them here at home, as you see Jules with the emphatic follow.
And again, Rick, think about this. Every point is coming in the paint. This is the formula if you're Radford. It's sit down on defense, make things tough for the Pirates, and then on offense, just get the ball inside.
You know, we've went through an entire season without fans in these arenas, but boy, you can really feel it here in championship week, this quarterfinal. This place would be going absolutely bonkers if folks were allowed to come, and the overwhelming silence that prevails here in a quarterfinal game is, well, it's just, it's unfortunate. Let's just put it that way.
All right, it's definitely unfortunate. So if you're the players, you have to make that energy yourselves.
Godwin hits a 3. Now they can shoot the threes and get back into a game in a hurry. This season, they shot 34% from behind the line, and it's now, they called that a 2 actually, 11 to 4 as Godwin knocked it down, but they shot 539 threes this year. Conversely, Radford just 465. And we have a whistle away from the basketball and an offensive foul called. You saw during that timeout call, Coach Joyner sent his team over to talk to his assistant staff. The entire time he talked to Bill Covington Jr. And you notice now we have the first off-the-ball foul called against Radford. You wonder if it's something Coach Joyner had seen that he thought Radford was doing with some illegal screening.
Absolutely. I think he had a problem with the way Radford was posting up.
Dickens fumbles it away. Another turnover for Hampton.
I thought Radford had pretty good numbers there. Surprised Famir Ali took the ball out, but he's a guy that doesn't really make mistakes.
And Mangum hits the first 3. He's a streaky shooter when he's on, boy, watch out, and it's 14 to 4. Dean out to Warren. He tries to answer for 3. He's been short both times, but Dean picks it up off the floor, just kind of reverses out to the top. He misses. And the ball goes off of Radford back to Hampton.
You don't see Warren miss many open threes like that. If you're Radford, you want to make sure that's the last one he gets with that much daylight.
Mike Jones in his 10th year, 173 wins, second all-time winningest coach. Next year he'll get that 100th conference win in the regular season. Warren must have gotten rid of that before he traveled with the basketball. Good defense by Mangum. And the jump shot is hit. That was Shaheem Anthony, who just checked in, a senior from Brooklyn. And it's 14 to 6.
You know, Rick, we're seeing a lot of good looks for these Hampton supporting cast. You have to wonder if Radford's game plan is, you know, we're taking Warren out of the game. We're going to make somebody else beat us.
Ali missed everything on the 3 from the left side, and there's Anthony with the rebound. And another turnover. I'm not sure if Jeffers knocked that away or not. He may have shown quick hands from behind. 12:40 in this first half, 14 to 6. Xavier Lipscomb so patient for a freshman. Ali, nice give up to Mangum, who squared himself to the goal, missed it, got his own rebound, and missed again. Anthony with another rebound. Warren yet to get it going. Now he's going to step back for 3. Miss it short again. He has missed badly. Front rimming all his threes, and then Radford trying to get it down the floor quickly, turned it over.
We've seen both teams have a couple of turnovers that you just really can't have in championship week. You know, all of these games are going to come down to a couple buckets, and every possession is precious. And Coach Jones not happy here. Like Hampton took a mini timeout without actually using one.
as they were substituting, you're right. Quentin Morton Robertson in for Radford, Kyrie Walker and Lewis John come back, and Coach Joyner brought the team over. I think Mike was very happy with that. You're right. Next whistle takes us to the under 12 media. Radford leads by 8. Here's Russell Dean. Bethea Jr. back to Dean.
You see Radford doing a lot of shade into wherever Warren is.
Dean with the jumper, and he'll hit it. He's a really good player, and he'll play all 40 minutes. He won't come out of the game. He is a marathon man. Very impressive player. I know we liked Tim Cole first time they came to the Dedman Center.
Oh, yeah, I think both games he played 40, didn't he?
He did. Here's Jeffers for 3. He'll miss, and there's Dean with the rebound. Radford cooling off a bit. Hampton down by 6. Davion Warren, leading scorer in the league. Out to Godwin, another jumper is off the mark, but I think they're going to call the foul, so we should have 3 free throws for Hampton when we come back, as Lipscomb out defending the 3, got a little familiar with Godwin. Free throws for the Pirates, who are starting to settle in a little bit in this quarterfinal. 14-8 here on ESPN3.
A migraine hope from Aimovig to show up for the sweet, the hectic, the tender, the tense, and the fiery. But for many, migraine keeps them from saying, I am here. We aim to change that with Aimovig, a preventive treatment for migraine in adults. 1 dose once a month is proven to reduce monthly migraine days, for some by half or more. Don't take Aimovig if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or swelling can happen hours to days after use. Severe constipation can happen, sometimes with serious complications. High blood pressure can happen or worsen with Aimovig. Common side effects include injection site reactions and constipation. It doesn't matter what each day brings, so long as you can say, I am here. Aim to be there more. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig.
14-8, Radford on top. You know, Cole, we switched the calendar around to March, so officially, first day, why not? Huh? Quarterfinals, March Madness.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier, there's nobody in the stands, but the first minute or two I thought was a little shaky, but since then the intensity has picked up, especially for Radford, but Hampton has really answered since that timeout that Coach Joyner took. Huge energy from them, and we see Davion Warren right now 0 for 4. Rick, he's a guy that it's just going to take him 1 to get going. So if you're Radford, you cannot let your guard down. Every shot he takes has to be contested.
23 against the Highlanders. And the 76-67 Radford win. And then he followed that up, or check that, the 23 came in the second game. He led off with 12 points in the opening game loss, which was a 79-66 setback. Radford won them both, shot 49% both of those games. So 3 free throws here for Marquise Godwin. Hampton this year as a team, 72% from the line. And the free throw is no good. As you get a good look at Godwin. Brian Hart into the game for Radford after that timeout. And he will launch the 3 very quickly as Godwin makes the second. Hampton down 5. As Famir Ali looks like he's going to replace Josiah Jeffers.
Brian Hart's a guy we saw hit a couple threes last game. You have to wonder if Coach Jones is banking on that momentum carrying over to this game.
2 out of 3 for Godwin, and they are on a 6-0 run. Radford led 14-4 as Amir Ali brings it up from right to left. Radford in the home whites with the red numbers. The 7-seeded Pirates in the road Royal Blues with white numbers and letters. And a holding foul down low. I think it's Dajur Dickens. Yes, it is, against Lewis Chonkum. 4th team foul against the Pirates.
I think we had Coach Joyner complain, and he got a foul call, and I think we've seen Coach Jones complain and get a foul call. So both refs working the officials early here.
Ali out to Lewis Chonkum. I think the most improved player in the league. Big Lou. Down low. Here's Hart. 10 to shoot for Radford. The Radford High School product, Quentin Morton Robertson back to Jonkum. And look at the jump hook floating through the air, and he's got 7 points.
And you just said it, he's got to be the most improved player, especially on offense. You know, that's not an easy play to make. You catch the ball on the roll. He didn't have time to establish position, but he caught it, had his balance, went up and finished. He has really upped his game on the offensive end this year.
Here's Warren. Still can't get on the scoreboard. Quentin Morton Robertson brings it down. Q. And a turnover knocked away. Here's Warren taking it coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in. So maybe that's the kind of thing that will get Davion Warren going, again, the conference's leading scorer. Halfway home here in this opening 20 minutes, and it's 16-12. Radford, they've led throughout.
No doubt about that. Sometimes it takes a free throw or an easy layup.
And Quentin Morton Robertson turns it over. Again, challenging DeJure Dickens is not usually a good thing. Bethea Jr. on the outside throws it out to Warren. Warren now pushing the tempo, falling to the floor. And what do we say? He gets the first one. And that one, an acrobatic act off glass. And just like that, it's just a 2-point game, 16-14.
And he's a smart player there. He liked his matchup with the smaller Morton Robinson. And instead of settling for the jumper, which he's been doing, he put his head down, got to the rim, and with his length, just able to finish.
Ali right elbow. Guarded out there by Dean. Here he is. We talked about the 3-point shooting. Brian Hart, that's his specialty, and he hits his first. That's a big bucket for him and the Highlanders.
Yeah, it's a huge bucket, and he's picking up right where he left off. You know, Radford at times has struggled to knock down the 3 ball, so if he can come in and knock down a couple, that's a big boost to this Radford Highlander offense.
Dean in on Ali, and what do we have? An offensive foul. And again, you see Edwards Joyner, he is not happy. Is that the 3rd foul on Dean?
I believe the
second foul. Okay. He'll probably have to come out. He usually plays 40 minutes, but not when you pick up 2 quick fouls like that. And he'll be replaced by Elijah Seward, freshman from John Marshall High School in Richmond.
And that's a huge loss there for the Pirates. As much as we talk about Davion Warren, Russell Dean is the guy that kind of holds it down on both ends of the floor and runs the show.
Absolutely. This is going to be interesting to see how they stem the tide without their floor leader on the hardwood right now. Can Radford take advantage, leading by 5 when he leaves the game? And we have a shot clock issue here. We've got 1 on this end. We've got a buzzer, and I think we have a shot clock malfunction. There's actually 15 seconds on the other shot clock. We have a failure of communication here at the Dedman Center. As now play is stopped as they try to fix the shot clocks. As one clock was correct down here on the end, you couldn't see in our camera shot. The other one had hit 1 and started to buzz. That's not a good sign.
Are we going with 15 here, or we're going to split the difference between 15 and 1?
I think 15 was correct. Yes.
I was thinking that was a pretty quick possession there.
Yes, you could call it that. Yes, after the foul.
How about these coaches? You know, they have the clipboards out. They're taking advantage of this to draw up their next play.
They're checking it over there to get the actual time on the clock correct as they're going to go back. I don't know how much they may or may not add here, but nonetheless, nothing worse than seeing the officials with the headset on while they go over and check out the video monitor because you know that means something has not happened properly during the game flow. So we're going to go 2 more seconds on the main clock. We'll go to 8:33, and it'll be 18 to shoot when they reset everything. Don't forget about our Geico halftime report. We'll have all of your first half highlights, your stats, update you on the other game that started at this time as well in the Big South Conference quarterfinals. See if we can get an updated score here.
And you know, Rick, 2 seconds might not seem like a big deal, but think about Hampton. They are here because they knocked down a shot with 2 seconds left in the game.
Absolutely.
So, you know, for people that get a little upset about the stop of the game flow, I completely understand that it is tough on the flow of the game. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's the tournament. You want to get the call right. So
I don't mind that at all. It's just let's go back and look at a play for 17 minutes before we come back and go, well, we couldn't see enough.
Right.
Those are the ones.
There definitely should be a certain
Absolutely.
time. If you can't figure it out right away, get back to the game.
Kyrie Walker, right elbow, 9 to shoot. And he's going to be called for the offensive foul against Warren. Boy, I tell you, guys are being awarded on each end for hitting the floor on contact. And the turnover gives it right back to Hampton. Again, Hampton without Russell Dean, who picked up his second foul. And it's this young man, Seward, who has to run the point for this team. Big moments for Ed Joyner here to finish out this half.
And in the tournament, it's a next man up, you know, mentality.
And that's going to be an offensive foul. Boy, I'll tell you what, he just put his elbow out and cleared out and bowled right over Kyrie Walker.
Yeah, you know, the first little bump I don't think would have drawn it, but he extended the elbow all the way out. You know, these aren't difficult calls to make right now. Sometimes charges can kind of be 50-50, but these are on both ends pretty blatant extension of the forearm.
So now Dickens has to lead. That's 2 starters that are out of the game, and Chris Shelton enters the game. So all of a sudden, your last line of defense for Hampton has gotten much smaller.
So if you're Radford, you have to be thinking you're going to target the paint here.
Absolutely. The conference's leading shot blocker over on the Hampton bench. And Mangum goes right there into the paint, bounces it out to Jules. He glides in and gets fouled. He'll shoot 2 when we come back. Lots of whistles over the last few minutes. 7:41 to go, 19-14. The Highlanders lead. It's the 2021 Hercules Tires Big South Basketball Championships on ESPN3.
Walker takes down Carolina, and the Furman Paladins defeated
The underdog. The long shot. The nobody from nowhere, never gonna happen in your dreams, kid. 100 to 1 shot. We know something about that. We're with you every step of the way.
I'm crying 'cause I love you.
Pepsi Wild Cherry.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no-contact delivery or no-contact at-the-door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
In class or on game day, we compete towards degrees, championships, excellence on every level. 11 schools, more than 4,000 student athletes. We are the Big South, where winners are made.
Second-seeded Radford on top, 19-14. Rick Watson alongside Cole Wilder with the crew here tonight from the Dedman Center. The other quarterfinal game that started at 6. As you might expect, top-seeded top-seeded Winthrop doing what you expected them to do. They're out to a 29-8 lead over the 8 seed, the High Point Panthers.
And I tell you, the Winthrop Eagles, when they're clicking on all cylinders, they're going to be tough to beat.
Highlanders are shooting free throws after this timeout. Miles Jones going to be the first player out of the huddle, Mike Jones' son. Hart, Mangum, Jules, and Ali.
So one thing I'm curious to watch is, does Joyner sit Dean the whole half? Does he get him to that final media timeout? You're on the road. It's a win-or-go-home game. You're down 5 early. It's tough to be patient and keep him on the bench.
It's a good point that you make. Russell Dean, arguably, even though Davion Warren is first team and leading scorer in the league, Russell Dean's likely the MVP of that team. MVP doesn't always mean the best player.
We know what the answer would be with Coach Jones. He would be out until the second half.
He would not play. 1 of 2 for Shaq Jules, and the lead is back up to 6 for Radford, 20-14.
Hampton has just struggled to find, any type of rhythm on offense. We're seeing lots of turnovers. Oh my goodness.
Bethea lost it and then missed another layup. They've missed a lot of layups too. Rebound taken by Jules acrobatically along the baseline.
Look at Famir Ali's change of pace.
That ball dribbled off the foot of Bethea Jr. as Godwin returns for Coach Joyner. 7:08 to go, and it's 20-14. It's just eerie that tournament game is this quiet. It really is. Mangum throws it in to Shaq Jules. Here's Hart. He's hit 1 3. Miles Jones going to try the 3. And the ball sails out of bounds back to Hampton.
If you're Radford, it's not a terrible shot, but you want to see if, you can get the ball in the paint first. Still a lot of time left on the shot clock. You don't want to settle from threes. You want to establish something in the paint and then kick out if you need to.
Here's a long 3 from Shelton, and why not? Because Chris Shelton, 47% from behind the three-point line. One of the premier three-point shooters in the conference, and that was about a 25-footer. There's no range limit for him, is what I'm saying. 20-17.
We saw that in the first 2 games, Rick.
Ali had his shot blocked. That was Seward. Ali, though, hustles to get it back. What a play by Famir to Hart for 3. He misses. Rebound by Miles Jones, and he'll lay it up and in.
2 just tough plays there by Famir Ali and Jones. Oh, wow.
They got it down, and Shelton tried to catch it in one motion and lay it up and in, but it rolled out. Numbers for Radford. Hart left open for 3. No. Rebound taken by Godwin.
And as a shooter, those are the misses you hate. That if you're short, you can adjust. If you're long, you adjust. When it's in and out, there's nothing you can change about your shot.
Shelton again, same spot. That time he was fading away, and he missed that one. Radford up by 5, 5.5 minutes to go here in this quarterfinal. And Jules, they're going to call that a bucket and 1. Shelton saying he was there, but that time the block is called. It's rare we've seen a blocking call called in this first half.
Yeah, I think he was in the right spot. If you look, though, he's just not square. He turns at the last second.
Turned the shoulder, yep. He didn't want to take the chest-to-chest contact, and if he would have stayed there flat, that's likely going to be a call in Hampton's favor. Not sure what's going on here.
That was a technical foul on somebody. I think we got a little jawing going on out there.
Who do they call the tech on? Maybe we can find out.
Here.
David Shields the check. There's a technical called against Radford. So now you have Warren. Brian Hart called for the technical, and Warren comes down and makes both free throws. Not sure if it was just extracurricular activity. Some mouthing going on out there, but Hart called for the tech, and that's 2 free points for Hampton.
Yes, I think there is some jawing going on there, and you have to keep your cool there. You can't afford to give up 2 points like that.
So now Jules tries to complete the three-point play. Delayed version, and he'll knock it down. Shaq, as always, immediately off the bench, and he's got 8 points. He can score and score and score some more. Very athletic post player. Strong to go with it. Radford's lead is 6. That's a tough shot for Godwin, boy. You could tell. Good job by Dante Moses defending for Radford. He just checked in.
Radford has numbers there. Hampton gambled in the backcourt.
And an offensive foul. Another charge. There have been, I want to say, a half dozen charges called between the two teams in this first half. Very strange.
And you're telling your guys right now, if anybody attacks the paint on you, you step in there and take a charge because the officials are not hesitating to call them.
Bill Covington Jr., J.W. Lucas, Anthony Eads, our crew here tonight. There's a push from behind. Warren hit the deck hard, and this now has turned into a flat-out foul fest. Not that they're not legitimate, but lots of fouls, guys hitting the floor. The other two games, by the way, in the quarters start at 7. That Campbell Gardner-Webb game, oh my goodness gracious. Campbell, longest winning streak in program history heading into the tournament. And Gardner-Webb, nobody wants to see any of those guys the way they finished the regular season. And Asheville and Longwood as well. That's the 4-5 game as the free throw's good. And the Radford lead is 5, 25-20.
I mean, those Campbell and Gardner-Webb teams, you know, they're lower down in the seedings, but if you watch them play here recently, they look like they could be that 1, 2, 3 seed. So nobody, you're right, nobody wants to face them.
Warren, after a slow start offensively, has got 8 points now to lead all Hampton scores. They're down by 4. They're hanging in without Dean and Dajur Dickens as Quentin Morton Robertson back out for Radford, along with Josiah Jeffers. Jeffers drove the baseline, went in, and a late foul called as Joncom went strong to the goal, and he'll shoot 2 free throws.
That was just a fantastic pass there by Jeffers. Almost thought he was going to turn it over, but he was able to draw 2 defenders and find Joncom, who this year, when a perimeter player drives, Joncom just always seems to be in the right spot. It's not just his offensive skills that's improved, it's his offensive awareness.
And this element of his game has also improved, 61%. Right at 50% a season ago. And he knocks that one down. This is the 8th straight home game for Radford going back to the regular season. Of course, they added the game against the Division III squad. You know, and Lewin, along with Kyrie Walker, first and second in offensive rebounds. Kyrie led the conference overall in rebounding, so Radford used to grabbing a lot of caroms. And 1 of 2 for Joncom. 26-21.
We're getting closer to that last media timeout before the half. If you're Radford, you want to try to keep that guy from getting going.
And Warren that time, nice shot fake, and he set up Anthony for the layup. And Hampton down by 3, 26-23. They've charged back in this one.
And how about the way they've weathered the storm without Dickens and Dean in the game? Several guys off the bench have really stepped up for this team.
Quentin Morton Robertson trying to get free, bounces it to Joncom, and that's an offensive foul. Another charge.
And I think that's another easy call. You know, he lowered his shoulder and went right through him.
Here's that last play by Warren taking us to the break. The setup, drawing the double team, and the easy bucket for Anthony. Highlanders by 3 here in the quarterfinals on ESPN3.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender, and this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. For unbeatable natural-looking color, Nice and Easy Cream. 100% natural-looking color that lasts 8 weeks. Gentle on your hair and scalp with conditioning in every step. Nice and Easy Cream. Nicer and easier.
Radford on top 26-20. The Highlanders at 45%. 16 of those points have come in the post in terms of their two centers, Jonkum and Jules, with 8 points apiece. Warren, as you may expect, even though he's just 2 of 7, he's got 8 points. He's been to the line 4 times. As Hampton 8 of 20, 40%. They're 1 of 6 from 3. Radford 2 of 8 so far in this basketball game. As look at rebounding, Highlanders up 16-10, and turnovers, 10 for Radford, 7 for Hampton. You know, and turnovers were a problem for the Highlanders during that bad stretch especially.
Yeah, I mean, there's, the path to victory when you can't get the amount of shots the other team gets is very low. So if you're Radford, you have to cut down on these turnovers and keep getting the offensive boards. But Hampton, they only have 7, but they've also struggled. They've had several of those just unforced turnovers. And think about all the charges, Rick. Half those turnovers are charges.
Shaheem Anthony misses the 3, and Hart lets it go out of bounds. It'll be Highlander basketball. That would have tied the game for Hampton.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of play drawn up here to get a post feed. Radford likes the matchup they have right now with Jonkum, with Dickens out of the game. And here comes back screen. They have it.
Good call, my friend. And Jonkum lays it up and in. He's now got 10. First player in double figures, 28-23.
What a pass.
That was a nice pass, and then it was missed down low by Bethea Jr. Another great setup by Davion Warren. Hart into the lane, defended, missed the layup. Rebound by Bethea Jr. Outlet to Warren, and he's going to shoot the 3 in transition, and he knocks it down. Wow. It's 28-26. Scoreboard is incorrect.
It does not take much to get him going.
Here's Ali. Euro step. They're going to call the bucket and a foul. So a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
I got to see that Euro again. That looked like he got all the way from the top of the key to the other side of the rim without dribbling. That was amazing. His change of pace and ability to cover distance as a little guy is just, you can't teach it.
Well, there you go. You ask and you shall receive.
Look at that.
And he'll make the free throw. Big three-point play for Famir Ali, member of the all-conference freshman team, and it's 31-26.
So we're seeing it. Hampton decided not to go with Russell Dean, and
well,
a lot of us because they got that guy.
You
right
got that
there.
guy.
Yeah.
You don't really need to worry a whole lot. All of a sudden, Davion Warren with 13 and 31-28.
I mean, that just shows you how much of an elite scorer he is. I mean, he struggled for most of this game, yet he has 13 points. He's that good.
Shot fake by Mangum. He goes in, and he got blocked, and he turned it over. It's going to go back to Hampton. That was a strange-looking play. 2:02 in the half. And the Pirates down by 3 will inbound.
That's another turnover for Radford. Struggling to take care of the ball. They have Mangum on Warren here to try to get a little more length. Maybe alter his shot, but you got to believe he's going to look to get the ball up here.
Shaheem Anthony drives in. That's a tough floater. Tough rebound by Bethea Jr., and they're going to call a foul on Radford. And free throws, 1-and-1 variety coming for the Pirates as Shaq Jules is going to re-enter the game with 1:45 to go.
No doubt about that. Jonkum with 2 there. You know he's coming out. These next couple possessions to end the half are really important. Both teams are going to want to establish some momentum, which has really been back and forth so far.
Free throw, no good. Radford's lead remains 3. And Warren took it away, and I think Mangum pushed off. He did.
That's a good call.
Out of frustration, that was a good call by Bill Covington Jr. Out of frustration, you could see Mangum clear out trying to get to the basketball, and
And then I also think it might have been he realized he wasn't going to get it, and if he hadn't got it, you know, Davion Warren was going to have a clear path to the basket to dunk the ball.
They were deciding whether it was going to be a shooting foul or an inbounds, and it is the double bonus, the 10th foul against Radford, so that puts Warren on the line, a chance to make it a one-point basketball game.
I tell you what, both teams need to be careful. Still a lot of jawing going on. There's already been one technical.
Warren led the team 75%. Interesting the way, well, this is a two-shot foul, but Hampton doesn't put anybody on the key during free throws, and there's another miss from the line.
I would think that's just, they know any foul is going to send Radford to the line for two, and Radford's one of the elite rebounding teams in this conference, so they're just going to trust their guy to make it down and get back on defense.
1 of 2 for Warren, and it's a 2-point basketball game, 31-29. Minute and a half to go.
Back screen coming here. Oh, wow.
They got Brian Hart backdoor. What a find there by Famir Ali. Nifty pass into the lane.
Coach Jones threw a little counter there. They had a back screen coming that I think Hampton's surely scouted, and they sent Hart on a back door. You better send somebody to help here. You got to double team this guy.
They're just giving the ball to Warren every time now. I mean, why not? Warren nowhere to go. Throws it out. Anthony for 3. He takes a lot of them, doesn't make a lot of them, and rebound taken by Hart. 4-point game, Radford with the basketball and the lead.
Thought Radford might try to go a little quicker, get a 2-for-1 here.
Nine to shoot from Amir Ali. To Jules for the finish. Highlanders by 6, and now Hampton can hold it for the final shot.
What a finish there by Jules, but again, Famir Ali with the change of pace to freeze the defender. And Rick, I wonder who's getting this shot right here.
Davion Warren going to dribble out the time with 10 seconds here. He's been setting up his teammates as well, but it looks like this time he does want to take a one-on-one. 4 seconds, 3. He's going to step back for 3. He'll miss. Anthony with the rebound at the buzzer, and he missed the bunny. Hampton had a chance to cut it to 4, but the Highlanders will head into the locker room. As you see, Anthony knows he let an opportunity get away there. As the Pirates, without their starting point guard for much of that first half, and also their starting center with foul issues.
Just go out there, relax, have fun, play basketball. And if we get shots and defend the way we're doing, we're going to win, is the message. But it can't happen if you're giving the other team 4 or 5 extra possessions a half.
Well, as always, especially in tournament time, these first 5 minutes after halftime, vitally important. Probably a little more so for the visitors from Hampton. Trying to come to the Dedman Center and in Radford season for the 2nd consecutive year, this time in the quarterfinals. Radford trying to get back to the semis once again. They've had a lot of success as the number 2 seed. A couple Big South championships as the number 2 seed. Going to be Ali, Lipscomb, Mangum, Walker, and Jonkum. Hampton with the basketball. Warren to Dean. Shelton on the floor with Dickens and Godwin. Same starting 5 for both squads. From right to left, Hampton begins the second half down by 6.
They look. I thought they had the backdoor lob. They just didn't throw it.
They post up Warren. Instead, he tries a really difficult turnaround jumper. Didn't have the angle at all. Rebound by Radford. They counter from left to right. That was a strange-looking opening possession for the Pirates. And Mangum walked.
Yeah, I think Hampton had a bucket there to Davion Warren. They had a beautifully drawn-up play. They didn't throw it, and the plan is, you know, if we don't throw the lob, we're going to have him turn around and post up. And you know that for most people that you look at that and you're like, that's not a good shot. But for this guy, Davion Warren, you know, he can make some high, difficult, acrobatic shots.
Russell Dean from right to left. And Jonkum called for the bump on DeJure Dickens. And that'll be the 3rd foul on Lewis Jonkum. That's a big whistle. He's going to leave the game.
And that's just another foul you can't have. He had pretty good position. He had forced Dickens outside the circle almost to the elbow, but at the last second he kind of reaches around trying to get a steal. With the way the game's been called, you just can't afford to do that.
Warren along the baseline. Wow. He maneuvered his body, his thin frame to the goal and laid it in. He's got 16.
And right there you just see his athleticism. You know, he was dead on the baseline, but he was able to muscle his way up and create just enough space to get that ball up on the backboard.
The lead is 4 for the number 2 seed. Radford on top with the basketball. Lipscomb has not scored in the game. Mangum going to shoot a 3. He'll miss it. Warren picks it up. Dean outside to Shelton. Elbow 3. In and out. Boy, that's usually an automatic make for him. Rebound by the Highlanders. They're in transition. Lipscomb swatted away by Dean, but ends up in the hands of Mangum.
And Dean is making his presence known on the defensive end. You know, he's not going to light it up in the box score like Davion Warren, but he's going to do the little things that go unnoticed.
Walker nowhere to go. Now he just kind of found some space and nearly had the layup, and that ball goes off of Hampton. So nice perseverance, if you will, underneath by Kyrie Walker.
And that's a great word to use. You know, one of his best skills is just keeping the play alive, you know, tapping the ball, trying to get a finger on it, get it to a teammate, and there he's able to knock it off the Pirate defender.
Ali had time to set and look at his feet, but he still missed the 3. Man, sometimes that'll hurt a shooter.
Yeah, sometimes when you're so open like that and you stop your normal routine, the shot comes up short, and we saw it there with Famir Ali.
Warren, long 3. Boy, he's letting it go from all over the floor. Another shot that was off the mark. He was claiming he was fouled.
We don't have a lot of fans here, but, man, every time Davion Warren lets go of the ball, you just know these Highlander fans are, you know, clenching their teeth.
And Lipscomb got the bucket and the foul. What a way to get on the scoreboard for the first time for the freshman Xavier Lipscomb as he rolled that one through.
We talk a lot about Famir Ali being this talented freshman for the Highlanders. How about Xavier Lipscomb? I think he struggled offensively as of late, but, man, he does the little things for Coach Jones. He trusts him to run the offense. And are they looking at something here? No.
Well, he's a different type of player, as you see, Xavier, than Famir Ali. Very strong based young man, his legs and his shoulders. He's physicality is beyond his freshman years, and his intelligence of the game as well. He just knows this basketball game in and out. And he completes the old-fashioned three-point play, and Radford has pushed it back up to a 7-point lead, 38-31.
Again, Hampton still unable to establish anything inside.
Warren to Dickens, and he'll lay it in. 38-33.
There you see Davion Warren able to draw the double team. Nice dump off to Dickens.
That was Dickens' first basket. Turnover by Ali, knocked away down low. As Dean brings it across. Dean with a little elbow jumper, no good. Nobody home underneath. Again, Radford, terrific rebounding team. No flow so far in the second half.
Yeah, not at all. Radford's going to slow it down here and run an offensive set.
Both teams look a little unenergized. Here's Lipscomb. He's picked up his offense here in the second half, and he missed that 3. And Walker can't save it from going out of bounds. Good hustle by Kyrie Walker. That's a good shot, though. You'll take that every time if you're Mike Jones from Xavier Lipscomb. That was a good look at that 3.
Yeah, and what you like there is that wasn't settling for a 3. That was attacking,
That's right.
Getting the ball in the paint, and then you collapse the defense and kick out for an open 3. That's totally different than just coming down and jacking the first shot you can get off.
Russell Dean from right to left. He's been very quiet. Most of it due to the foul issues of the first half. Davion Warren.
You hear the Radford coaches yelling ice. They're going to force him to turn down the ball screen and double team.
Misses another 3. Radford's forced him into a lot of bad decisions on the perimeter. Good defense by the Highlanders. Next whistle takes us to the under 16 media timeout. And a holding foul out front before the shot. That'll be on Godwin. Timeout on the floor here in the Big South Conference quarterfinals. 38-33. The Highlanders lead by 5. We'll break away, come back with more from the Dedman Center after this. Here on ESPN3.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
I'm crying 'cause I
Pepsi Wild Cherry.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Mountain Dew is charged for anything that may happen on game day. So grab yourself an ice cold Mountain Dew, Cole Wilder. Cheer your team on and enjoy the game. We know fans are the best fans. Do the do. Also, you can find out how much you could save on car insurance with a fast free quote from Geico at geico.com. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 38-33.
That was an impressive read right there, Rick.
Radford on 5.
That's why you make the big bucks.
Well, Amir Ali penetrates, kept his pivot, did not travel. That could be a 5-second call. Tried to muscle it up, no good. Rebound by DeJure Dickens.
Yeah, it's the second possession in the second half. He got stuck in the paint with nobody to go to.
Russell Dean between the circles. This Hampton offense is best when he is the man at the top controlling it. Warren, another jump shot, and he'll miss again. He is off the mark here tonight. Rebound by the Highlanders. Another good job by Radford. 1 and out on that defensive glass. Trying to beat the Pirates for the 3rd time this season. And Lipscomb draws the foul. He'll shoot 2 more. He's been much more aggressive looking for his shot here in the second half, and he's going to earn himself 2 more free throws.
And what you're just seeing is with him at the guard spot, you're not going to have somebody stronger than him guarding him, defending him, which allows him to use his strength to get to the rim and either finish at the rim or draw a foul. He's a pretty good free throw shooter, so if you're Mike Jones, you want him to keep attacking.
Three points in the game for Lipscomb. Highest free throw percentage player in this Radford roster this season, Xavier Lipscomb, at 80%. Trying to give Radford a 7-point lead again. Makes 1 of 2. I jinxed him.
I tell you what, Kyrie Walker almost snuck around and got that. If you're Hampton, at some point you have to get, draw something up to get you an easy look.
Jules called for a reach in on Dickens, and that'll be his 3rd. So now both Radford posts with 3 fouls. Brian Hart returns. Check that. 2nd foul on Shaq Jules. Pirates inbound, 39-33. Dean's pass went through the lane. Godwin picked it up, missed the jumper. Warren hustling for the rebound, kept it alive.
What a play by Warren.
Warren gets it back, and he's called for the offensive foul. Wow, Brian Hart took the charge. 2nd foul on Warren. Been a frustrating second half so far for him. And Radford takes over as they take yet another charge.
And you kind of hate to see that because he just had such a huge, game-winning play, taking on pretty much the whole Radford team to secure that loose ball, but Radford able to answer by drawing the charge. And you're right, the frustration is mounting with him. If you're him, settle down. You're not one of, you are the elite scorer in this league, and it just takes you a couple to get going. And if you're Radford, you better remember this. Really isn't a guy you want to get angry.
Is that like Bruce Banner in the Hulk television show?
I think exactly. You do not want him to
Don't make me
transform
angry.
right here.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. This Bill Bixby, by the way, played the original Hulk. Lou Ferrigno actually played the Hulk part. I think he was David Banner in the TV show.
You just a man of much knowledge.
Well, is that knowledge or just, worthless recollection? There's a difference. Oh, a nice floater with the right hand by Lipscomb. And Radford, the largest lead now, 8 points, 41-33. They're starting to create some separation from the Pirates.
Lipscomb stepping up at the right time. He was, from a scoring standpoint, a non-factor in the first half, but he's changed his level of aggressiveness, and he's able to get the steal there.
Xavier Lipscomb has taken over the second half, and Brian Hart had a couple of options, and he misread the momentum of that pass. Turnover gives it right back to Hampton. You see Hart frustrated.
Yeah, that's one he would love to have back. That was going to be a easy slam for Lipscomb.
Seven minutes gone by, and Radford has increased its halftime lead by 2 points.
Man, you won't see this much Davion Warren out of the game.
Russell Dean misses. Boy, Pirates are ice cold here in the second half. Another rebound by Radford. The door's open for Radford. There's a kick basketball from Dean.
If you're Coach Jones, again, you're saying, guys, settle down. Every play doesn't have to be the home run play. Let's take care of the ball and get a good shot.
Hampton shooting just 31% in this basketball game. And that's usually not going to advance you in a tournament when you're shooting that poorly. Credit Radford's defense. They have really adjusted. Quentin Morton Robertson. Went left, went right, finds Shaq Jules for the cuff dunk. And the lead is ballooned to 10. Boy, Shaq knows how to finish. He's got 12.
I tell you what, there's, if he gets a clear path to the rim, it's going to be an exciting play. That guy knows how to finish with power.
The hammer. Godwin, boy, they're just throwing up a lot of threes. No good. Rebound taken off the floor by Quentin Morton Robertson.
They got him for the lob.
A lot of momentum. Look at Lipscomb. He waited and waited, did not just throw that ball back, settling down the offense. Hart into the lane, goes up on Dickens, kicks it out to Quentin Morton Robertson, but he missed the three. The lead is 10 for Radford. Hampton can't buy a bucket. And Dean's going to draw a foul in the lane. I believe he'll be shooting free throws when we come back. It will be 2 shots for Russell Dean. Radford taking charge here at home, trying to end their struggles toward the end of the regular season here. The last 4 conference games they lost as Shaq Jules emphatically gives Radford a 10-point lead. We'll be back.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender, and this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Cadillac is made for the driven. Grab life by the road with the dynamic Cadillac CT4. Or take hold of power and prestige with the award-winning Cadillac CT5. Ranked highest in initial quality among mid-size premium cars by J.D. Power. Find the perfect ride for you with our fresh, new lineup of uniquely crafted sedans. Cadillac. It's the ultimate in iconic luxury.
Radford on top. You know, Cole Wilder, a good basketball team, is a close-knit, like a family, right? Solid in all facets of the game and able to weather whatever challenges the other team presents. That sounds a lot like First Citizens Bank. They're strong, stable, and managed by the same family for 3 generations. First Citizens Bank, forever first.
You know, First Citizens Bank is an excellent metaphor for who's going to win this game, whatever team can stick together, because right now, you know, both teams very much alive. Hampton only down by 9, but they have a chance.
Russell Dean made the first, and his second free throw is also good. 8-point basketball game, Radford on top, 43-35.
I'm a little surprised to still see Davion Warren out of this ball game. Not a little bit surprised, a lot of bit surprised.
10 to shoot for Radford is Famir Ali setting up Walker along the baseline, and he'll miss the reverse layup.
You see Dickens there, that length, that's why he's the leading shot blocker in the conference.
And even if he doesn't block it, he makes you think about that he's going to block it. Dean misses another jumper. They are ice cold from the floor.
And you know, they're not terrible shots. They've just been unable to hit.
And Shaq got wedged out. Yep. Jules will be on the line as Godwin kind of pushed him toward the baseline. No way that Godwin's going to push down the frame of Shaq Jules, but the acrobatic fall to the floor will earn the foul and free throws.
Yeah, he got a little lucky there. Had a bad angle, but he was able to hold on to it and draw the foul. Good job by Hart there to slip it in a very tight pocket.
These two teams are combined 4 of 27 from 3, by the way. Shaq misses that free throw.
Now, Rick, if you want to watch something fun right here, watch Kyrie Walker. He's 4-on-1. He's going to try to get this ball if it comes off. And he can kind of lure the other team to sleep. You know, you see you have 4-on-1 here, but he's going to go for it.
And Jules knocks down the free throw. Radford has not trailed. They lead by 9, 44-35.
And this is where just every possession is critical. You got to take care of the ball and get a good shot. No silly fouls.
Warren back out. He'll step back and miss another jumper.
And just incredible defense by Kyrie Walker. He's a tough guy to take away the drive on, and he was able to do that and recover to contest the shot.
Ali sets up Hart for an elbow three. He'll miss. And Walker loses the rebound out of bounds. 44-33.
Good find there by Ali. Good look by Hart. Just couldn't knock it down.
Davion Warren 5 of 16 from the floor. They are 12 of 41, 29%. Now what do we have? Is that a hold against Kyrie Walker? That's a quick whistle by Bill Covington Jr.
Well, I think they got Hart on
Was it Hart?
fighting through the screen.
Okay, so Hart on the screen. Fourth team foul on Radford, second half. Now what do we have? A warning?
Yeah, and if you're Hart, you need to be careful. You've already had one technical.
Good call, yep.
And what usually happens in these situations is you catch the second person. So,
well, Hart is a Hampton native, by the way.
We're seeing a lot of, John and pushing. Both teams need to settle down here. Competing is one thing. You like to see the competition, but
Hart is out, too. He is a Hampton, Virginia native, so maybe that's where part of his juice is coming from.
There.
And a turnover. Ali took it away.
You got Jules trailing.
And he's not trailing anymore. Whistle and a foul on the dunk. Boy, oh boy, he's frustrated he didn't finish that one, but he's back on the line shooting too.
I'm telling you,
check the rim.
Yeah, from the time Ali got that ball, everybody in the gym knew where that was ended up.
The aircraft carrier coming in for landing right here is nice touch pass by Jeffers. You can see just a little short. Dickens got just enough.
And that just shows you how good Dickens is, because that's not a guy that often gets contested when he goes up at the rim.
Free throw is good. Jules off the bench, 14 points for Radford. He's probably a candidate as well, just a hunch for our Hercules Tires strong movement game.
He's been huge off the bench tonight.
Radford by 11. This is their largest lead. Dean floats one up and in. 46-37. An honorable mention all conference.
And there we saw it. That's not, an incredible move that's going to blow anybody away. It's just smart. Wow.
Ali got to the goal and one for Famir Ali. He's got 7 now, and it's 48-37.
How about 5'10", attacking the 7-footer inside? And we said it before the game. He's not afraid to go in there.
Chance for a 12-point lead, which would be the largest of the game. 9:13 to go. And he'll knock it down. 49-37. There's that 12-point lead. Miles Jones back in. Shaq Jules going to get a breather.
And Radford without Jonkum and Jules inside, and that's kind of how they've established that post presence tonight.
Timeout by Ed Joyner. Full timeout, we'll take it as well. It's all Radford right now, up by 12 here in the quarterfinals on ESPN3.
The underdog. The long shot. The nobody from nowhere, never gonna happen in your dreams, kid. 100 to 1 shot. We know something about that. We're with you every step of the way.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no-contact delivery or no-contact at-the-door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Pepsi Wild Cherry.
The doctor said I had prostate cancer. I needed to do something else. Can I go to proton therapy? Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute. He said, yeah, you can do it, man. It's a breeze, man. When I went for the treatments, there were no side effects. Whatever you could do before, you could do it after. Thank you, Jesus. I'm so glad I can go down there. But I tell you right now, I wanted to let those people know that I really appreciate it. And HU is his spot. This is Cindy. When you call her up, she's so nice on the phone. This is Jen. This is Ashley.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, And we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Welcome back. 49-37, 12-point basketball game. Radford on top, 9:05 to go. Radford's defense turning the trick so far here on the Hampton Pirates.
I mean, when Davion Warren has the ball, he's always double teamed. There's no driving lane. Shots are contested. Great job following the scouting report by Hampton. But it's not over.
Bethea Jr. will inbound. Man who sent them here to the quarters with the 3 ball with 2.5 seconds to go in their opener against Presbyterian. Here's Dean into the lane. Trying to set up Dickens, he's never ready to catch and score, and he turns it over.
How about Josiah Jeffers there? We haven't seen him do too much on the offensive end, but he's been solid on defense, and that was a huge play there to save that possession.
Coaches will tell you he's the best on-ball defender on the team. Ali somehow got that out to Mangum. I don't know how. And Drayvon goes up, misses. Ball is all over the place. He'll get it once again, and he'll flip it up and in. Created a lot of this separation himself with a lot of determination, and Radford extends the lead.
And I love Coach Jones there. Coach Jones is saying, get back.
Boy, Dickens turns it over again. He's just never prepared to catch it. It's a 4-on-1 for Radford, and they can't get the layup. It was knocked away momentarily.
And Hampton almost looks like they've slowed down here.
They have lost their energy almost completely. It just looks like it.
And it's not over for them. They can get to this next media timeout and catch their breath, but they got to compete until they get there.
Ali dribbles it off his leg out of bounds, and there's that next media timeout. It's all Radford, 51-37. Coach Joyner sitting there with his head in his hands across the way as his team goes to greet him. We're back with more quarterfinal action after this. Don't go away.
You can tell this is really crispy, juicy, and tender because we wouldn't take the time to butter all these potato buns if it wasn't worth it. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Cadillac is made for the driven. Grab life by the road with the dynamic Cadillac CT4. Or take hold of power and prestige with the award-winning Cadillac CT5. Ranked highest in initial quality among mid-size premium cars by J.D. Power. Find the perfect ride for you with our fresh, new lineup of uniquely crafted sedans. Cadillac. It's the ultimate in iconic luxury.
Well, Pepsi presents What Fans Like, because Pepsi knows what fans like. You can go to pick up a ice-cold, refreshing Pepsi today. That's what I like, Pepsi Cola. Fans, of course, would like to be here, and they're not. A few selected. And, of course, we want you here. Never take for granted the opportunity to go do anything ever again.
Absolutely. You're not lying about that.
My goodness.
And I just think about all the teams that are, at this point, you're getting to the point in the season where if you have a positive test, it's knocking you out of the tournament, kind of like it did with Charleston Southern, and you really feel for those teams.
It's all Radford, 51-37. Their defense has been outstanding in this basketball game.
There's some pressure here. This isn't going to necessarily be to force turnovers. You're trying to take Hampton out of any type of rhythm, not that they've really been able to establish one.
Well, Warren has really had an off night shooting the basketball. Radford's made it very difficult for him. Now he's going to force up another jumper and miss again. It's just not there for him tonight. And the Highlanders doing a great job of limiting offensive rebounds. That's been huge. And here's Lipscomb, who has picked it up on this end of the floor in this second half.
And Radford's up 14. You know, if they take care of the ball and get good shots, they're going to be tough to beat.
Jonkum finds Mangum. There's a good shot, and he'll ring up the three. 17-point lead for the Highlanders. 54-37.
And they couldn't have executed that better. They took off almost all the time off the shot clock, got the ball in the paint, and kicked out for an open three. That's what you want to do to close out a game in a conference tournament.
Turnaround jumper for Warren. He'll miss again, but he's fouled, and he'll be on the line. You just don't get, though, the idea right now with the way Radford's defending in this basketball game. You just don't get the impression at all that Hampton's going to be able to make a run.
Right, just because every shot that Hampton makes is a tough shot. Radford's not giving any easy looks.
Absolutely.
And you can hit a couple tough shots, but you can't. You know, your game plan cannot be to come down and just hit tough shot after tough shot after tough shot. That's just not sustainable, even with, you know, an extremely talented offensive player like Davion Warren.
Takes 2 free throws. Is that the most misleading 18-point game you've seen from a player?
Yeah, no, I think so. And you see those types of games with elite scorers. You know, they have off nights, but they're still able to fill up the stat sheet. And it's another thing. Radford's going to have to handle this pressure because Hampton is kind of forced to try to force some turnovers now.
54-39. They're still at 30%. Warren 5 of 17.
Ooh.
Radford 48% from the floor. So they have controlled this game throughout. The Highlanders have not trailed. Lipscomb left open a couple times, and he says, you know what? The second time I'm going to take the three. And he has been huge in the second half, and Radford now really spreading it out against the number 7 seed, 57-39.
Yeah, how about the freshman Xavier Lipscomb, his first win-or-go-home game, and he has just been huge in the second half.
Shelton for 3. He'll miss again. It just has not been there from the get-go, and Hampton looks like they've completely worn out in this game. Ali, Mangum, why not another one from the same spot? You betcha. And it's a 21-point Radford lead, 60-39.
Coach Jones called that. You know, he was telling us guys, let's go, let's go. He felt the momentum, no need to slow it down there and get the dagger. And, man, the options are just very quickly fading for Hampton.
A dominant second half, and Dean's going to draw the foul with 5:14 to go. Well, if the Highlanders survive, they'll host the winner of that Campbell-Gardner-Webb game, the 3-6 game that's going on. And Gardner-Webb right now at halftime, a 2-point lead, 28-26. Winthrop is going to advance. They're up 66-35 with 8.5 minutes to go in the second. That game's over. And Longwood on the road. Talked about this today with a couple of people. I'm not surprised at all. You know, Asheville coming off of their self-imposed hiatus, and they're down by 10 on their home floor. Trying to pick it back up and turn the energy on in a tournament setting is not usually a recipe for success, as Dean makes both free throws.
Yeah, and you know, you can think you have that big hiatus and you can fine-tune things, but nothing can replace that, you know, on-game atmosphere of a conference game.
60-41. Mangum again. He got fouled, or there was a foul called on the 3. Was that the foul on the shot,
I think it was off the
Jonkum hitting
ball.
the deck? Yep.
Yeah, off the ball. Dickens on the box side. I think a little bit of frustration there.
Coldwater, it's looking more and more like I'll see you on Thursday in the semifinals. Still 5 minutes to go, but
was that just the ultimate jinx there, Rick?
Nah, that's just saying it the way it is, I think, right? At this point.
Well, you know what? I am looking forward to the possibility of spending more time with you on Thursday.
Well, you know what? As you should. Free throw's no good. Shelton will launch a long jumper, and he'll hit it. Hampton says maybe not so fast. 60-44 as we approach the 4:45 mark.
Yeah, and if you're Radford, that's not at all what you want to happen. A 4-second possession and let the ball end up with Chris Shelton.
Radford with a 26-6 advantage on the defensive glass. Mike Ashley watching and listening to us, playing the role of sports information director from afar. Thanks, M.A. And a shot clock violation. Radford a little bit out of sorts there. Hampton trying to put together one final push here. Down by 16.
And just because you brought Mike Ashley up, is there any stat or any nugget of info about Radford men's basketball that he does not know?
Absolutely not. Nor is there any press road food that he has not tried. We found that out on Friday. Here's Dean, a little off balance
I tell you
jumper.
what.
Yeah, they're starting to find the range here as we have 4 minutes, 60-46. Lipscomb, who has all 9 of his points here in the second half. Hart, good Jonkum, and he missed the bunny, gets it back and scores. See, that's the difference. Lou stayed with that. 12 points for him. Last year he may not have, looked at that off the rim.
Yeah, he's doing all the little things on offense that he couldn't do last year.
Dean blocked by Jonkum out of bounds. It's our final media timeout coming up. Highlanders still very comfortably in command here, 62-46. Big South Conference quarterfinals. Glad to have you aboard here on ESPN3.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender. And this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Cadillac is made for the driven. Grab life by the road with the dynamic Cadillac CT4. Or take hold of power and prestige with the award-winning Cadillac CT5. Ranked highest in initial quality among mid-size premium cars by J.D. Power. Find the perfect ride for you with our fresh, new lineup of uniquely crafted sedans. Cadillac. It's the ultimate in iconic luxury.
If you're Hampton, you got to just lay it all on the line now. There's potentially just 3:25 left in your season. Avion Warren will inbound. And a very quick whistle, my goodness.
And again, that's just something at this point, that may be a little questionable, but you just have to let those go. You don't want to put Hampton on the free throw line quick like that.
To Warren on the line. And he'll miss the free throw. Kind of encapsulates his off night. He had 14 points at halftime, just 4 points here in the second half. Radford's defense, the story, and their rebounding, much as if that's the formula they've dealt with all year to finish second, surprisingly so, after being picked sixth. Mangum steps back, shoots the three, misses. And then they turn it over. That Shelton's frustration, this entire team frustrated. They tried to get out on the break, and they're just out of sync. You can see everybody's faces right now, Cole. That's just a team that knows that their time is running out, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's that stifling Radford defense. After 37 minutes of really not being able to get a good shot, at some point the frustration is definitely going to mount, especially when you start thinking that, this might be the last game of the season.
Nice setup by Mangum to Jonkum. He left it a little short, and Warren rebounds. 2:35 to go, Radford up 16. Warren misses another three.
And again, part of it is him having an off night, but, give credit to the Radford defense. They have scouted this perfect. They iced all ball screens. They forced him to knock down tough contested jump shots, and that's the recipe for a guy that can do it all like Warren.
Great game plan for Radford here tonight. Mike Jones got his team ready. They played that extra game against the Division III last week because they didn't just want to sit idle for the 10 days. Look at that. Famir Ali, did he beat it? They're going to check to see, I guess.
I don't know. That was close. He might have been just a hair late.
Our producers are saying no, he did not beat it. Yes, but you produce like there's 10. I don't think this is going to count. I think David's right. I think this is going to be maybe just a hair late. Any event, minute 58 to go. Yep. Highlanders can take this momentum into the semifinals. They got a lot to build on, don't they? Now you have an extra day, right? You have until Thursday now, so not the one day in between. There's a couple days between the quarters and the semis.
And there's definitely some execution you want to work on. But for Coach Jones, this game right here was about bringing the juice back. You mentioned it earlier in the game, and it's back. So if the juice is there, then you can fine-tune some other things. You look at, I didn't check what is that, but earlier 17 turnovers. Still room to improve for this Highlander team.
And that's the area they'll have to shore up. As Warren's going to draw the foul. The bucket went in. What are they going to call here?
I think that's got to be before the shot went
up.
I
would think it definitely was before the shot went up. Yep. 1-1. Minute 45 to go. Stay tuned. The Hercules Tires strong move of the game, and also our Hercules Tires final stats game summary. Radford has won the Big South Conference Championship 2 times as the number 2 seed. They also won it as the number 1 seed. Who was that on that team that ran the point in 2009? What was that guy's name?
I think that was me, but
I
think you may be confusing something. When you say ran the point, do you mean ran the point for the last 2 minutes of the first half and ran the point, once the team was up by, 20?
62-48. Free throws were good. Doesn't look like Hampton's even intent on fouling here. They just kind of letting Radford run out some time, which means that they're probably accepted their fate a while back in this one tonight.
And I tell you what, no matter who Radford ends up facing, it's going to be a battle for them.
It'll be a battle.
2 hot teams.
And they set up Hart for 3. The exclamation point has just been added for Radford. They will advance to the semifinals yet again. 65-48. Dean will miss. Rebound by Mangum. Radford going to go.